Samira Clark. I'm a junior at Renaissance High School, and this is my presentation on the Harlem Renaissance. First and foremost, this era was not always titled the Harlem Renaissance. It was originally known as Negro Renaissance in reference to African American or Black people. It became known as the Harlem Renaissance after African Americans decided to flip the script. Harlem came into play as they were referring back to where it all started, Harlem, Manhattan, New York. When slavery ended, the life that African Americans were hoping for and the idea that they were holding on to did not come about. That's when they realized the promised land was not promised. Contrary to that, white supremacy was quickly, legally, and violently restored to the New South, where 90% of African Americans lived. In an effort to escape, many African Americans moved north, which was now known as the Great Migration. When they were united, they started to share their stories and tell each other what their lives were like. And when doing that, they realized that all their stories were similar one way or another. Rather than allowing themselves to mope around about how unfortunate their lives were, they decided to embrace themselves. They then released their Black culture without feeling any remorse. African Americans were now epic. From dance to art to poetry to music, they started it all and they enjoyed themselves while doing it. It takes one to gather all and create history. I am now going to introduce only a few of the many people who started it all during the Harlem Renaissance. Richmond Barth. He was an African American sculpture artist. He created artwork to represent and symbolize realistic styles that were known but not yet spoken of. He allowed African Americans to feel proud about how they looked and every detail about themselves. Aaron Douglas, who was an African-American artist who started off as a landscape painter, but was then influenced by modern movements such as Cubism, where subjects appeared fragmented and fractured by the graphic arts, which typically use bold colors and styled forms. He and other artists also looked towards West Africa for inspiration, making personal connections to the styled mask and sculpture from Benin, Congo, and Senegal, which they view as a link to their African heritage. James Van Der Zee, a photographer who soon became the unofficial cameraman of African American life in Harlem. Whether through posed family photographs in his studio or through photo essays of Harlem cabarets, restaurants, barbershops, or church services, his large body of work documents a growing, diverse, and thriving community. Langston Hughes, a very high-end and well-known poet and story writer during the Harlem Renaissance. I will now recite a poem by Langston Hughes that I was taught in the 5th grade by my middle school teacher, Miss Brandy Walker. It is titled Genius Child. This is a song for the genius child. Sing it softly for the song is wild. Sing it softly if you ever can, lest the song gets out of hand. Nobody loves a genius child. Can you love an eagle, tame or wild? Can you love an eagle, wild or tame? Can you love a monster of a frightening name? Nobody loves a genius child. Set him free and let his soul run wild. Because of these people and many more, we as African Americans now have culture. Poetry is the face of music. Poetry turned into songs, poetry turned into hip hop, poetry turned into television shows. Afro beats and jazz is the foundation of the words we hear within the music. Poetry and music evolved into something so much more than what these people back then even thought of. The way people learned how to rhyme faster and beat drums and play music at a faster pace is what is now known as hip hop. All it is the foundation these people have left behind and turning it into something more.
Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
The NAACP is the National Association of Advancement for Colored People. This organization was already founded, but in 1967 the Image Awards came about. This is an annual ceremony here to honor African Americans and their outstanding performance in arts and entertainment. This followed the Harlem Renaissance as they wanted to recognize African American forms of art. This now concludes my presentation on the Harlem Renaissance. I want to personally thank my 5th grade elementary school teacher, Ms. Brandy Walker, and I want to personally thank my 11th grade visual arts teacher, Mr. Coden, for allowing me to tap into my African American history. Thank you.